Hello everyone, it's Aquarius. Today we will be talking about FNAF or Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF is a horror game that takes place in a Chuck E. Cheese-like pizzeria. The earlier games show a rundown place with a little to no movement, only being able to control your fate through a few buttons and security cameras. You'll have to be calculated though, your energy might run out before you get to 6 a.m. and ultimately fall in the hands of 4 animatronics that haunt the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria. I'll be focusing on the first game today, and more so the lore behind it. The newer games are a whole different topic, so let's get started. I'll be designing the kids who were the victims to a mysterious purple figure. I wonder who that could be. Also, I want to point out that I'm sick, so sorry if my voice sounds like this. Also, the characters I'm designing right now behind the screen are Cassie, Gregory, Cassidy, and Crying Child, who will be talked about later on. This is just kind of like a Five Nights at Freddy's introduction. We are going to start out with Susie because I really like Chica, who's the animatronic behind Susie. We don't get much lore for the 4 kids behind the animatronics besides their names, but she seems to have the most set in place design and story. Susie was the first to be killed and I think was led by her dog or something. I wanted to give her a lighter version of the pink and yellow because some of the other characters also have that. And I also didn't want her to look too much like Elizabeth. I don't know why I thought that, but something gave me that idea. So I gave her a 80s hairstyle with a little ponytail. Her outfit was easy. I took inspiration from magazines of little kids in the 80s and their outfits. I think she might be a little rich because she seems to have a lot of fancy dresses. I really like her design and I hope you do too. Gabriel was next. I decided to give them all missing posters to include their last names, which were just all random since there's nothing really confirmed. He didn't stick out to me, but I kind of liked how it turned out. I gave him a brownish-orangish t-shirt to signify Freddy, who he possessed. I also gave all of them a shadow with some accessories to signify the animatronic they possess, as you can see. Not much to say about Gabriel. I think his personality will be shy and reserved, but once you really get to know him, he's kind of a leader. Here he is! Jeremy or Bonnie was difficult for me. I didn't have a lot to go off of, and I made a completely different design than what I thought of. I do think it works, but the outfit screams a redo. I think I need to draw him again to really feel some things. I wanted a dark blue to be his main color. I really like his eyes being light, and I gave him a buzz because why not? You'll see most characters have Converse for shoes that match their eyes or another accessory. I like his shadow because I think the Bonnie ears stand out. I think next time I'll give Jeremy a better pose since I'm pretty sure he's a fighter in the story. So maybe I'll make him more confident because right now he just kind of looks like a happy little guy. Here he is. I thought Fritz would be fun. I think the idea of this little kid always getting hurt trying to play pirate is so cool. I just wished I remembered it while drawing. Most art I see of him, Fritz either has a sprained arm, ankle, or a prosthetic leg. Next time, I'll make sure I include one of those. I was also tempted to give him an eye patch, but decided against it. Maybe if they're playing at the pizzeria, he might wear one. I gave him a little gap and fell in love with his design. Something about the grown-out bowl cut and foxy socks seems so fun to me. I also wanted to add more to make his character less forgettable. By the way, he's foxy. Charlie is one of my favorite characters. She was locked out of her own birthday, and in a cutscene we see her hands on the window, crying. When a purple man drives up, that's the last we see of Charlie, who is Henry's daughter. I'm pretty sure she was the first ever kid William killed, or purple guy, and then he went on to kill the 4 kids. Henry was Purple Guy's or William Afton's business partner. He helped him make all the animatronics. I made Charlie a little older to give some contrast, and a pose to make her seem like she's looking out. I'm pretty sure she has a wristband because that has something to do with the puppet, which is the animatronic she possesses, so I definitely made her wear that. I don't give my characters a lot of moles, so I decided to give her some just for fun. I also made her a bit more tan and wore a casual outfit. This gives her a sense of maturity for some reason. Anyways, I really like this design. Cassidy is one of the halves of Golden Freddy. The lore is inserted, but I'm pretty sure she and the Crying Child both inhabit Golden Freddy. But also, the Crying Child technically died to Fredbear, but maybe both animatronics are the same, I'm not too sure. We don't know a lot about Cassidy, but the thing is, a lot of the other animatronics talk about her.
The one you shouldn't have killed. I have seen him. The one you shouldn't have killed.
Cassidy is referred to like this, and a lot of them say he, and then others say she, and it's not really confirmed, but I think it's a girl from, like, other people's drawings and stuff, and also there aren't a lot of girls, like, so I'm just adding a few more. Also, her audio lines are very mysterious and creepy. They have her saying stuff, and then a whisper follows in the background. A lot of people assume that's Crying Child, and I think that's a really cool theory. But I think she helps Crying Child gain confidence. Yellow seems to be a big part of her design, so I gave her a muted sweater, so she just wouldn't clash with Susie. I also made her muted with colors in general, giving a contrast to the other kids since she seems a little more important. Most designs give her pigtails, so I added some as well. I also just added some cold eyes, and then she was done. Next time, I'll add more parallels to Charlie, since she was the first, and Cassidy was the last, I think, and maybe Crying Child, since they both share an animatronic. It took a while, but here she is. So, I'm going to give some lore before I talk about the Crying Child. If you don't know, William Afton, or Purple Guy, I'm going to call him William Afton from now, had 3 children, Micheal, Crying Child, or Evan, and Elizabeth, who she arrived in the later games. Crying Child also does not have a set name, but is most popularly called Evan, which is what I'll be calling him from now on. Micheal, the oldest, loved playing pranks on his little brother Evan, with his friends. He knew Evan feared the animatronics and decided to scare him with masks. Before Freddy's Pizzeria was born, and all of Bonnie and Chica and Foxy were made, they used to stay at Fredbear's Family Diner, which had more rickety animatronics, who were Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, which both had something called spring locks, which a person could go inside of an exoskeleton thing, but if contacted with water or just it was really janky, the spring locks would close in and lock. And if somebody in there, that would get pretty gruesome, but if not, it's just a way to close it. The 2 boys waited for their father since he was working, and Micheal decided to play the best prank with his friends on Evan. They all picked him up and told him to kiss Fredbear. Evan was crying so much. They all put his head in Fredbear, and because of the water, it was really janky and it cracked. And there are a lot more like lore videos about Crying Child, a lot more in-depth of its story and how William Afton spiraled after that, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm actually going to talk about his design. Also, the video you see here is just like I designed Fredbear, and there's Crying Child, and it's like a spotlight. This is not actually how it happened, but I just thought it was kind of cool, and this is a bite of 83. There's a very famous video of the bite of 87, but that's something completely different. Crying Child has the most canon design. We know he always has tears, and he has a sweater with stripes. It's a very famous design. And so I decided I'd give him some red puffy under eyes to signify that, while also giving him his sweater, which originally was a t-shirt, but I thought it would work better as a more academic approach. I gave him his collar and some jeans, and he's holding a little Fredbear or Golden Freddy plushie that's looking at him, which it seems to follow you around with its eyes, so I thought that would be really cool to add. Anyways, that's it for Crying Child. Let's move on to the next sibling. Finally, we have Elizabeth, who's Evan's sister. She's known for her green eyes and ginger hair. Elizabeth in the later games is known as Circus Baby. She's really like the animatronic and begged William to take her to see it. He would never let her, so one day, she just went by herself. Circus Baby gave her ice cream for one hand for inside her stomach, but then, after Elizabeth took it, Circus Baby took her. For her design, I might have forgotten the green eyes while trying to make her look a little more like her brother, so I added them later. Originally, her hair was ginger, but I decided to make it darker to fit in. We don't know a lot about her mom's looks, and I'll probably have to design her when designing Micheal and William if I do, so I don't know if she's going to be ginger. Elizabeth is quite manipulative when she's Circus Baby, so I feel like she'd be kind of a demanding kid. I'm getting Willy Wonka spoiled energy from her. Anyways, here she is. To end it off, I just put them all side by side to see how they look together. I was first thinking of just redoing them all and really getting a feel, but it was going to take too much time. So I put them all. I think Fritz and Crying Child are the smallest, and I really hope you like the video. I spent a lot of time on it, and sorry if it's a little long, but thanks for watching.